Hello and welcome back to TriVox Language Hub, the podcast for English learners who want to improve their skills while learning about interesting topics. I'm your host, Jad.
And I'm your co-host, Emily. It's great to be here with you all today. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notifications on.
So, Emily, today we're talking about something I find fascinating. We're taking a trip down under, metaphorically of course, to talk about our favorite animals from Australia.
Oh, I love this topic. Australia has some of the most unique and incredible wildlife in the entire world. When you think of Australian animals, what's the first one that pops into your head, Chad?
That's easy. It has to be the kangaroo. It's the classic Australian animal, right? You see them in grasslands and woodlands all over the country. You see it on coins, on the tail of airplanes. It's a national symbol.
Definitely. So what is it about kangaroos that you like so much?
Well, for starters, the way they move is just amazing. They don't run, they hop. And they can hop so fast, up to 70 kilometers per hour. They use their big, powerful hind legs to jump and their long tail for balance. They're herbivores, eating grasses and leaves, but they have to be careful, as predators like dingoes are always a threat.
Wow, that is fast. I didn't know they were that quick.
Yeah, it's incredible. And of course, there's the famous pouch. Kangaroos are marsupials, which means the mothers carry their babies, called joeys, in a special pouch on their stomach.
Joey, that's such a cute name for a baby animal. So the joey just lives in the pouch?
Exactly. When a joey's born, it's tiny, only about the size of a jelly bean. It crawls into the mother's pouch and stays there, safe and warm, drinking milk and growing for several months before it's ready to come out and explore the world.
That's amazing! A jelly bean-sized baby? Nature is truly incredible. So a great choice, Chad. The kangaroo is a classic for a reason.
Thanks. All right, Emily, your turn. What's your favorite Australian animal?
Okay, so if you went for the classic, I'm going for the cutest. I have to choose the koala.
The koala, another fantastic choice. They look like little teddy bears.
They really do. But it's funny, they're not actually bears at all. Just like kangaroos, they are also marsupials.
Right. Another pouch carrier.
Exactly. What I love about koalas is their super relaxed lifestyle. They spend most of their lives high up in the eucalyptus forests. And when I say most of their lives, I mean it. They sleep for up to 20 hours a day.
20 hours? That sounds like the perfect life. Why do they sleep so much?
It's because of their diet. They almost exclusively eat eucalyptus leaves, which are actually quite toxic and very low in nutrients, though it takes a huge amount of energy for them to digest the leaves. Sleeping so much helps them conserve energy. Even with their sleepy lifestyle, they have to watch out for predators like dingoes and large owls.
That makes sense. A diet of only one thing sounds a bit boring, but they seem happy with it.
They're specialists, and they're just so calm and peaceful to watch, clinging to a tree branch. You can't help but smile when you see one. They're just adorable.
They really are. So we have the mighty kangaroo and the sleepy koala. What's next on my list? I'm going to pick an animal that's a bit quirky. My second choice is the wombat.
Oh, wombats. I love wombats. They're so stout and cute. Tell us about them.
So wombats are also marsupials, believe it or not. They're powerful diggers that eat mainly grasses and roots. But their most interesting feature is their pouch. It's backwards. It opens towards their rear, not towards their head like a kangaroo's.
A backwards pouch? Why is that?
It's because wombats are expert diggers. They dig long, complex tunnels and burrows to live in. If their pouch faced forward, it would get filled with dirt when they dig. The backward-facing pouch keeps the baby joey clean and safe from predators like Tasmanian devil.
That is so clever. What a great example of adaptation.
Isn't it? But here's the most famous and unusual fact about wombats, and it's a bit silly. They have cube-shaped poop.
Wait, what? Cube-shaped, like little dice? How is that even possible?
It's true. Scientists think it's because of the way their intestines work, and they use these little cubes to mark their territory. because they're flat on the sides, they don't roll away. It's one of the weirdest and most wonderful facts in the animal kingdom.
Okay, the wombat just became one of my favorites too. That's hilarious and brilliant at the same time. What a fun fact. Okay, it's my turn for a weird one.
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
My second choice is the platypus. It's an animal that seems like it was made from spare parts of other animals. You'll find them in and around freshwater rivers and streams.
The platypus is definitely one of a kind. It's so strange that when the first scientists in Europe saw a drawing of one, they thought it was a hoax, a fake animal someone made up.
I can totally see why. It has a bill like a duck, a tail like a beaver, and feet like an otter. They eat insects and shellfish they find in the riverbeds. And it's a mammal, but it lays eggs. They also have to be cautious of predators like snakes and eagles.
Right, it's one of only 5 species of monotremes in the world, which are egg-laying mammals. The other 4 are species of echidna.
And there's another surprise. The male platypus is venomous. It has a sharp spur on its back foot that can deliver a very painful sting. It's not deadly to humans, but you definitely wouldn't want to get stung by one.
Venomous, egg-laying mammal with a duck's bill. Australia really is a land of fascinating creatures.
It really is. There are so many others we could talk about, like the Tasmanian devil, the laughing kookaburra, or the spiny echidna.
You mentioned the Tasmanian devil. That's an animal with a very famous name, mostly from cartoons. I bet a lot of our listeners have heard of it, but maybe don't know much about the real animal.
That's so true. The cartoon character is a whirlwind of chaos, but the real Tasmanian devil is just as fascinating. They're the world's largest carnivorous marsupial and live only on the island state of Tasmania. They're about the size of a small dog, very stocky and muscular.
And they have an incredibly powerful bite. I read that they have one of the strongest bites, pound for pound, of any mammal. They're scavengers, so they eat carrion, animals that are already dead, which is a very important role in the ecosystem.
And they're famous for their incredibly loud, disturbing scream. It's a sound you wouldn't want to hear at night in the Tasmanian wilderness.
I'm glad you brought up the echidna. It's another monotreme, like the platypus. They're covered in spines like a porcupine and have a long snout for eating ants and termites. When they feel threatened, they roll into a spiky ball to protect themselves. That's a fantastic defense mechanism. So, we've covered a lot of ground, but there's one more animal I think we have to talk about, the quokka.
And they're famous for their incredibly loud, disturbing scream. It's a sound you wouldn't want to hear at night in the Tasmanian wilderness.
Absolutely. I think this is a great point in our chat to pause and do a quick vocabulary recap for our listeners. We use some specific words today that might be new to some people.
Great idea, Chad. Let's do it. What's our first word?
Let's start with marsupial. A marsupial is a type of mammal where the female typically has a pouch for carrying her young. We mentioned that kangaroos, koalas, and wombats are all marsupials.
Perfect. The next one is pouch. The pouch is the external pocket of skin on the mother marsupial's belly, where the baby, or joey, develops.
Good one. How about unique? We said Australian animals are very unique. If something is unique, it means that it is the only one of its kind, or very unusual and special.
And we also talked about the koala's diet. A diet is the kind of food that a person or animal usually eats. The koala's diet consists almost entirely of eucalyptus leaves.
Excellent. Lastly, a word we use for the platypus, venomous. An animal that is venomous produces venom, which is a poisonous substance. The male platypus is venomous because it can inject venom through a spur on its foot.
That's a great list of words. Hopefully that helps all our listeners understand our conversation a little better. This was so much fun, Chad. I feel like I could talk about strange and wonderful animals all day.
Me too, Emily, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on TriVox Language Hub. We hope you enjoyed learning about the amazing animals of Australia.
Join us next time for another